Fanboy Modeling School.
Yo,
look at us. What? Boom. There we are, and welcome to Fanboy Modeling School. Yeah, that super close thing is just a crime against humanity. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing good. Wait, what's a crime against humanity?
When we have the super up close, they really take that off of StreamYard. That's just, I don't know what is going on up in that scene, but
yeah, you would think it would default right to this. Quick shout out and praise to the Fat Mantis for what up, Sensi Star, the God, Mama Danny, what's good? How are
you? What up?
Shout out to the Fat Mantis, man. This man is sick. I tried to talk him out of it, but I'll always throw praise his way. We weren't going to do this episode tonight, but he's a good friend, man. And I just wanted to shower him with praise right now.
You are a sweet man, but I'm gonna and this is rare. So guys, absorb this while you can. Pick up what I'm putting down while you can. I'm gonna actually say that you're the true star.
What?
Because when I was on the phone with you earlier,
right,
you had to get off the phone. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to tell the audience why?
Yeah, I came off my exit, and on my exit, I live in a pretty rural area in upstate New York, and I come off the exit, and I see a mama cat trying to cross the street with two kittens. And it's the rule of upstate rural living: you stop when you see animals, unless you were going too fast. I have a theory that people hit deer because they're going too fast, right? They're going way too fast. And or
they're doing other things in their car.
And they're doing other things. But you're supposed to let geese go across the street. You let strays go across the road, and most certainly you stop for a mama kitten. So the car that was coming the opposite way also obeyed the rules of the road.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was talking to you on the phone. I'm like, shit, what do I do? So I whipped into the deli that's right there on the corner, jumped out, went to go see if I can save one of the baby cats. And then I seen the mama cat come back and grab one of the other, one of them, but I couldn't find the other one. So I told the store owner, and they came out. And listen, I don't use this term redneck in like a derogatory sense. This is what they identify themselves.
Country folk. I dig it.
Oh, good. Yeah. I walk in and I led with, listen, I'm a bleeding heart, but I want to let you know that there's a kitten stuck in the bush right behind your place. And they were like, oh no. And like the cranky old man who's always putting out cigarettes, like in the parking lot of this place, he comes out, the little old woman, and
he's chain smoking and has a shotgun in the other hand, like all the time, no matter what.
Bro, that is 100% accurate. The shotgun is never in his hand, but if you walk past the pickup, it is most certainly in the pickup. So yeah, I
yeah, it's within an arm's reach or whatever.
And you've been to my house, man. Like we're close to us. So it's funny because where I live is really rural, and the town where everyone goes to have fun, the next town over, is just slightly less rural. The big deal is that it has a mall. That's the big deal there.
Right, but why? So basically, what I'm saying is, you're the true gentleman. You're the true hero of tonight because you literally stopped to save a family of cats.
I do it for any family.
Yo, a shout out to you. God bless you, sir. Everyone.
What you folks need to understand, Mantis is a cat dad, right? Not to be confused with a cat daddy, but he's the owner of how many cats? One,
two. I had three. Mitzi, the queen cat, passed a couple years back.
Right.
So I'm down to two. Still, love my guy and my girl. It's breaking my heart actually. Like before the episode started, Benji's out there and he wants love. Like he's like sitting up and he's looking at me. But the thing is I talk too loud for the other people in the house, so I have to close my door.
Oh, gotcha.
So I can't let him in. Like if they weren't here, I'd leave the door open and he could jump and visit me or whatever. But I have to choose. It's rough.
When you friggin' folks, if I can't see your comments, I apologize. I for some reason decided it'd be cool if we streamed on Facebook tonight, and Facebook just alerted me that you can't post here anymore because you don't have us set as public. So I'm gonna open up another window here so I can see you fine folk.
It's all good, but honestly, you did a great job today. Thank you so much for helping those cats.
No, thank you, man, for being yeah, we're just thanking each other at this point. It's like
yeah, it's gross. It's gross. This is like a woman's podcast. At this point. Oh, I'm gonna get tore up today. The women are not gonna like me tonight.
Why will the women hate you today?
Just because of some of the provocative stories I've chosen.
Like, okay,
like for instance, director Andrew Dominic.
Okay.
He directed the Ana de Armas. I don't know. You know Ana de Armas?
No, who's that?
A beautiful actress.
Okay.
She's going to be playing Marilyn Monroe in a Netflix movie called Blonde.
Okay.
And he got it rated. The director got it rated NC-17. And then in a public, when he was like being interviewed, in a press release, he says, "I was able to get the movie NC-17. After all, who wouldn't want to see an Ana de Armas in an NC-17 movie?"
What has she been in? What do I know from?
Ana de Armas. So she is very famously in Knives Out.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And I actually personally think they kind of ugly her up for that role.
Right.
She is actually super beautiful.
Mm.
You know, they make her a little like you know, they make her a little defenseless in that, but she is really she was in Blade Runner 2049. She was the digital image girlfriend.
Okay.
You know how you did Computer Girlfriend?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I actually have not watched Blade Runner, but I know all the I'm ashamed. I'm about to say something that's gonna get me tore up in fandom. I've never seen the original Blade Runner either.
And that concludes our episode for tonight, guys. Thank you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. You've never seen the original Blade Runner?
No, and it seems so antiquated at this point. Like, I don't want to, put it on and be completely taken out of the magic of it by going, this shit's silly. Harrison Ford can't do these things anymore. Like, when I watch Star Wars now with Harrison Ford, I'm like, he's nowhere near that smooth.
Oh, hello, Lainey. Welcome in. She was stopping by. She's going out, but she decided to say hi. Gray is also in shock. We're in here. What up, Berlin? Welcome in. And do we have Carmen? Do we have Carmen in here tonight?
I did not see Carmen, but D Love is in here.
What up, D? Yes, it's
is in here. Shout out.
He's up in this piece.
Shout out. Star.
So, basically, I mean, you know the premise of Blade Runner, basically.
Yeah. Humans have robots.
Yeah, and then you know, and you know the twist at the end.
They're all robots.
Well, no, he's been a robot. His job is to hunt down and kill robots, and then he realizes that he's a robot at the end. What? Mind blown. So in the 80s, that was considered a sophisticated twist. At this point, we're all waiting for that kind of shit to happen.
Right.
You know?
I know you suspect that they replaced me with a robot, and that's how I was able to get my life together. And you'd be right in your assumption. These children I have, also robots, tiny robots.
Let me say, when you vanished from the New York scene,
right.
within like 2 or 3 years, I assumed you were dead. So it was kind of shocking to see you return. I was like, what? The what?
He lives. Well, I needed time to lay waste to my enemies, or as they say in Conan the Barbarian, what is good in life? To see your enemy completely decimated in front of you.
Absolutely. Grace has fun fact. I was seriously going to get Roy's death speech from Blade Runner tattooed on my arm, but that was like 20 years ago. Okay, and just so she knows, Roy, the main villain robot, is named Roy.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Well, I've always meant to ask you, do people know your real name?
Well, I guess they know now. Yes. So the Mantis's real name is Roy. Yes, I'm a Roy. I know it's bizarre. It's a bizarre name.
What's Roy short for?
Well, actually, my name is Roy-Alexander.
Ah, that's a great name.
So I'm Roy Alexander, but there are two names that are hyphenated because my mom was raised in France, and a lot of hyphenated names in France. Roy's
it's a Roman name though. I've seen it before. It's like, is it short for Romulus? Yeah, we're gonna go.
It means royal. It means literally royal. It means king or royalty or
hoity-toity.
I'm a pretty sophisticated motherfucker.
You do drink wine out of a normal sized cup, so I can't take that away from you. Okay.
I might as well have like a giant straw or something.
Yeah. All right, so we got that. What else we got cracking?
We got a bunch of fun stories today. A lot of it has to do with fandom, but we are here at the Fanboy Modeling School.
Right.
Well, Johnny Depp, will he be returning to Pirates of the Caribbean? He's either getting a ridiculous sum of money for doing several movies in a row, or it's all a complete lie. We're going to get down to the bottom of it.
Right. But being okay, go ahead.
Then we got to head up all to talk about Comic-Con. Comic-Con is returning in full effect. Originally, DC and all those guys were not going to come again. And then at the last minute, remember, the San Diego Comic-Con is in like 4 weeks.
Right. Yes.
And out of the blue, like literally this week, Marvel goes, we're going to Comic-Con. And we're going all out. And so suddenly DC is like, well, we're going too. But then when you hear what they're bringing, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. So we're gonna have a whole bunch of making fun of DC tonight. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna also talk about Thor 4. Thor Love and Thunder's out. Reviews are coming out. We've got to discuss it. We've got to talk about the analysis of this movie.
Wait, it premiered?
The reviewers have already seen it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
There are millions of Roys below the Mason-Dixon. If you say so. I've only met like maybe one other Roy in my lifetime.
I have an Uncle Roy.
Oh, okay. And they're all old. The Roys that I talk about.
Roys are old. They're very old. They're old.
Gray is pointing out that CW bailed out because they're being getting broken up and sold off. Yeah. So I mean, we might as well get right into the Comic-Con stuff as long as
let's get into it.
Okay. So basically here's the thing. Warner Brothers, owning CW, a major owner of part of CW. It's really CBS and Warner Brothers that own the CW. That's literally where they got their name. C for CBS and W for Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers owns the majority stock of it, a chunk of it. They usually, when they come to Comic-Con, they usually have panels of CW shows, and the kids go wild. Like a CW crackhead, Comic-Con is their place. People think like it's for nerds. It is for nerds, but it's also for fanboys and girls of CW teenage romance shows, right? Like Riverdale and all this shit.
Everyone's there. Everyone's welcome.
Well, now that they're deciding, now that their Warner Brothers is now Warner Brothers Discovery, they're going to be breaking up CW and selling it off bit by bit.
Wow.
Within the next couple of years, we are going to be losing out on that teen drama. Hello, Princess Bex. Welcome to the stream. And so they're not bringing any of those fan favorite shows.
What? Thank God.
Do you know what they're just decided to bring? People are like, oh, you're going to bring some of your movies for DC? And they're like, no, because who wants to talk about Ezra Miller? Other than us YouTubers, people don't want to, the guys running the show do not want to talk about Ezra Miller.
No, they want to bury him underneath the deepest part of the Warner Brothers studio in Berkeley, California. Real quick, Mantis, you need your next road trip, money permitting, you need to go to California, but I don't want you to go to the obvious places. I mean, go to those places, I guess, but you need to go on a tour of the studios in Burbank, man. A lot of dope stuff in Burbank. You can go see Warner Brothers Studios, go to studios. Burbank, but
I have a feeling I would love and hate California.
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
Once you get to Hollywood Boulevard, that's where the hate starts to kick in. Because Hollywood Boulevard is a bigger version of 42nd Street.
Oh. I already have my torch in hand. I'm ready to burn that fucker down.
Since he starts this, I don't think I've watched CW since Smallville in like 03. That's a good description of their content. 100% is.
So they've decided. People are like, "Are you going to bring any of your DC properties?" They're like, "No, they're making a Green Lantern show. They're not bringing them. They're going to bring House of the Dragon and Netflix's Sandman show, which apparently is Warner Brothers' most expensive show they've ever made."
Okay, I think the House of the Dragon's a good look. I think it's we talked about this privately in your Discord. I think there's been a fair amount of space between the debacle, which was the last get your words out, Steve. The last season of friggin' Game of Thrones. I actually think people are ready to get into some Game of Thrones shenanigans, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was not ready, but I did see a commercial. I was just like flipping through the channels. I saw a commercial for it, and I was like, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm not super excited.
right.
I'm kind of excited. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's good to be kind of excited for something other than a Disney Marvel property, right? And this is actually good for Marvel and Disney's. I think it's a good look. Bring it, man. Bring it. Yeah, it's a sophisticated show, Game of Thrones, man.
Yeah. Who actually goes to Comic-Con? I go religiously every year.
Yeah.
So Steve's gone a couple times, right?
No, I've never been. Never seen Black.
Oh,
Never been to a Comic-Con either.
okay. Max says I did one, Steve, but the boy nerds chased me away. Oh, I'm so sorry.
My poor backs, those fucking gatekeepers.
We should all go. We should all cosplay and as one theme. Like we'll be X people or something, and we'll all go.
No, we're all gonna go as you.
I'm down.
we can dress.
The problem with the world is there's only one of me.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But like, here's actually the brilliant thing about the new Game of Thrones, though.
Right.
Is that it's not exactly based off of any content. It's like hundreds of years in the past, but doesn't go far back to like the beginning of the Targaryens. Right. So they can technically do whatever they want. And they don't have to worry about George R.R. Martin or respecting books, continuity, or anything like that.
Wait, are you telling me this is completely original? There's no...
Well, basically, here's what it is. There's the story we saw where the Targaryens, right? Targaryens and the houses, right? The 7 kingdoms, 5 kingdoms, or whatever. So this one is going to take place like 500 years in the past. And so at first people were like, "Is that Aegon? Like for what King's Landing is named after?" And they're like, "No, that dude was over 1,000 years ago." Wow. So they're doing it in between, so they can kind of do whatever they want and not have to worry about like book fans freaking out.
You know what, man? F the book fans in the sense that, no, you know what? I say that respectfully. He's partially to blame too, the author, for where we're at. Had he completed the book like he said he was going to, then we would have had a better landing. But all right, so they're going to bring that there. No CW properties. Are you sad about not seeing Flash? I believe it ended, right? It got canceled and ended.
Right.
Did you watch the conclusion? Did you want to see that? I had said I wanted Ezra Miller replaced by that young man. And
that's what I want.
It started to take traction. Your thoughts?
I absolutely agree with that. I'm like, here's what I'm saying. I stopped watching the show. The show kind of like started to suck for a while. But I do think that actor, and a lot of those actors are good. The show just got the writing was convoluted and weak. It's CW. Right. Let's get real with it. So, but I honestly think Grant Gustin would bring people to the theater if he did replace Ezra Miller as the Flash. I think he's wholesome. He can't go wrong. He's
he's a good guy.
He doesn't hold children hostage in a farmhouse in Vermont with drugs and guns all over the place.
Yeah, he's not your typical Hollywood person.
We're talking to you, Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah. Wait, Kevin Sorbo's name. Poor Kevin Sorbo.
Grace says, I wish they had done that with the Wheel of Time. I hate the way they've messed up the books already, and I bet the original series in that universe would be cool. I bet.
Now, Bree, let me ask you a question, because I don't know anything about the show other than what the lore, other than what I see in the show. Did you enjoy the first season, and are you surprised it's coming back? Because even though I enjoyed that first season, I was like, they're canceling this thing for sure.
Yeah, no one's watching that.
No, but it came back. They got renewed for another one.
I'm proud.
Did you finish it, Mantis?
I didn't. No. I got bored. Which is why I was sure it was going to be canceled.
All right, so who else? So what's Marvel's got? What does Marvel have going for Comic-Con?
So Marvel is keeping everything close to the chest. However, they have said that we're going to get a Namor reveal. We're going to at least get an image of what he looks like.
I think we're also going to get a new Guardians reveal as well.
Oh, I hope.
I just expect. I've heard they're filming, right? They've been filming Guardians.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're getting there. Now, let's talk about Namor for a second. I want us all to stay right-sized about the character Namor, and I want you to be honest, and I'm going to be honest too. To me, he will always be that silly fellow below the sea with wings on his feet, which never really quite made sense to me. And I guess that's what makes him a mutant. I think they got rid of the wings on his feet later in later comics, but
I can't attest to the wings on the like whether they're there or not there. I will say it doesn't make sense that he's
them, right.
What?
You do remember the wings on the feet, right?
Oh, of course. And
Okay.
actually, in the 90s, he had a awesome comic that I believe was written by John Byrne and drawn by Jay Lee, not Jim Lee, but Jay Lee. Do you remember him? He did a real gritty like art.
Yeah,
I used to love that comic.
He had the friggin' crazy hair. Yes, I love that art style. Yes,
yeah. That dude was legit. So I am like kind of a fan. I like to call him. Everyone calls him Namor. I like to call him Submariner.
Oh yes.
I watched it all through, but I hated the change. Wheel of Time needs to be done more faithfully to work. A lot of these, things have to be done more faithfully.
So, so the reveal of Namor, are you pumped up? Do you care? Like,
have you heard what's going on?
Well, I know that he's a Mayan. It's not Atlantis. He's a Mayan prince, and Go ahead.
Yeah, like Atlantis was originally like a Mayan city, and it sunk. And so they kept their Mayanness in all these years. And actually, there's rumors that like when he originally comes out, he's actually going to have like an authentic Mayan headdress.
I'm not mad at that. I mean,
I gotta see it to believe it.
But I have some fears about that because you got the Black Panther versus the Mayan prince. I think they're trying to there were some issues in California at one point,
So this is the problem with the quest for diversity that's been going on in the mainstream nowadays. And Miss Marvel is an example of this.
I have not watched one episode yet. Have you?
So no.
Okay.
But apparently, when you have the high critics, there are two types of people who take a big old deuce all over that show more than anybody. And it's not the normies.
Okay.
There are the people who are like DL white supremacists who are just like, I don't want to watch an Arab on my screen. That kind of the Homelanders of the world, right? And then there's another type of extremists, actually Muslims. A lot of Muslims are hating on the show.
Yeah.
And they're saying A, it's either not accurate, or B, they're like, she's not a Muslim girl. She's talking to boys.
Yeah.
Talking to teen boys. Like all these kind of real criticisms are coming up.
It's haram.
Just like so the thing is, no one will ever be satisfied is where I'm going with this kind of concept. And when you just have the normies in the middle, they're not enough to hold up an expensive franchise. So what the problem is, they're gonna have a Black Panther 2 pit him against a Mexican dude, and they think they're gonna pull off authentic Mayan. Now, I'll tell you, during Shang-Chi and during Mulan, they were sure they were doing authentic Chinese.
Right.
That's not what Chinese people have to say.
Yeah, no.
I'm a kung fu dude, and I was like, this is legit Chinese, man. And then I started watching videos, and people were like, they would never say it like that. They would never wear this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know anything.
No, straight up, I did like Shang-Chi, man. I gotta admit, but I saw it at home on Disney the way that type of movie is intended to be watched.
Hello, Rogue.
Hey, Rogue Radio is in the building. You guys.
Wait, how was it intended to be watched?
At home.
Oh, just at home. Okay. That's the criteria. The way to watch it is at home. Okay.
And I like Shang-Chi. I never liked the comic book character, but I thought this was one of those things where the return was better than the original. Because if you think about it, how many epics had you really seen Shang-Chi involved in Marvel Comics?
So I've seen him guest appear for like one or two issues in like Spider-Man or like Iron Fist or Daredevil, and he's never been in any serious arc or thing. I don't think they ever took him seriously in the Marvel Comics.
No.
He was not supposed to ever get a movie. That was never the plan.
No, but the movie actually revitalized the original content, and I think the representation in the movie is much better. Obviously, adding the 10 rings in and tying his character to the Mandarin, this is great stuff. But back to Namor, right? The Mayan thing, I don't have any issue with that because I always thought Namor, the Submariner's racial ambiguity in the comics was strange because if I remember accurately, the way he was drawn in World War II times, he couldn't be drawn like that today.
Well, yeah, so he looked Asian. He looked like an Asian man with pointy ears, right? Like a Vulcan from Star Trek or something. And what's really great, I don't remember what video I had, but I was able to find an actual from 1939 panel, and it's one where he's finishing the adventure, and then they say, and the panel has Namor jumping in the water, and literally it says up there, and they go, and Namor returns to the sea to continue his endless war against the white man and the terror they impose on the oceans. And I was like, the white man, he was against the white man. And so he clearly wasn't white, but what was he? We don't know. He was a fish man.
Bro. You know why I love Namor way more than Aquaman? Because I can't picture Aquaman being anything other than the blonde hair, blue-eyed.
And that's the thing. Here's the thing. I love Jason Momoa in Aquaman, but he's not playing Aquaman. He's playing Jason Momoa.
He's playing.
He's just Jason himself.
But
he's himself.
You know what? Jason Momoa plays a good Elseworld dark Aquaman. Like you got that movie. I thought it was gonna suck. Actually, now that I think about it, I would much rather see Jason Momoa versus the Black Panther. But
that's what I'm saying. It's so weird that it's almost like they were trying. Like, was Scott Snyder predicting that they're like eventually they'll have Submariner? I better beat them at the pass.
Yes.
And take that visual image of like this racially ambiguous dude.
I think now the actor for who's going to be playing the Submariner, don't think he's going to land it. I think there were much better Latino actors they could have picked. I
gotta see it. I don't know anything about it. Is he in like telenovelas or whatever?
Let me bring him up. You keep the people entertained.
Right. So Gray says Coco was super popular in China. All they had to do is have some generational trauma and ancestor reference, and it will be cool. That might actually be the key here to the China connection on how to appease Chinese audiences. There's another one though. There's another one. Stern parents, and also kids being very obedient to their parents. It's similar to ancestor reverence, but like you got to respect your parents, and it's all right. Your parents are like exponentially strict. You know what I mean? Saying those are very Chinese qualities, and a lot of people who were talking smack about Shang-Chi actually said the way he treated his parents or his father is just inaccurate. Like a young Chinese man would never get away with it.
No, definitely it wouldn't fly. Like especially if he's like first generation. I'm gonna switch us to the other thing here.
Right.
Sorry guys, this is not OBS, which is much better at this, but
it's okay. All right.
There we go. That's the guy playing Namor.
Once again, I don't know. I got to see him in the costume. I mean, he visually looks like he could be Namor. You know?
Let's see. Let's bring him up against a comic book character.
They just got to grease his hair. Put on that greasy hair.
There we go. Okay, maybe I can see it. Maybe I can see it. Yeah.
We'll see what they do, man. We'll see what they do. This is going to be very interesting. The thing is that the entire movie where there's going to be a distraction, and the distraction is that the real Black Panther won't be there.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman, man, the best of us, man. Like I can't even watch Black Panther anymore. We watched it after he passed, and we watched 41 and all the other movies.
Yeah,
I probably will never watch those movies again because it's too much, bro.
Too much. You know about the Academy Awards that year, right?
No, what happened?
I was going to. No, I just want to let you guys know the Mantis is not a violent person. I don't condone violence, particularly over award shows. Right. But I was gonna freaking kill somebody. Chadwick Boseman did the performance of his lifetime in what was that movie? Oh, his final movie.
The one where he's a cop, right?
No. He's a jazz trumpeter.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
Oh my God, that was an amazing movie. The entire movie takes place down in a basement where they're recording because they don't let the blacks record their music up top in the real studio.
Yes.
And he's like, him having a back and forth with his other things. And
that was a great flick. What the hell is the name of that?
I'm getting the title right now. I totally forgot it. It was.
While you're here, everyone that's over on Twitch, thank you for being here tonight. If you're catching a recap, make sure to click the link in the description. Follow the Voice of the Fat Mantis over on YouTube and on Twitch. And yeah. What you found out?
Yeah, it's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yes.
Yes, and so Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. So you're thinking of 21 Bridges, where he's the cop.
I heard was not great, but I need to watch it for myself.
It's decent. It's a decent cop movie. But yeah, he was so great on it, and welcome in public. And so and they gave it to Anthony Hopkins, and I lost my mind. I wanted to punch a wall. I wanted to kick a child. I wanted to push an elderly person into a puddle of mud.
What did he get for it?
I keep it real, okay? I keep it real.
Oh, Pubs says, how come I don't get moderator rights up in here? Pubs, you're one of my mods. Did it take you off? No, you have the mod thing. I can see it here on Twitch. What do you mean, Pubs? We'll check it out. I'll check it out after the show. Make sure it's okay. Go ahead.
But yeah, so like we're gonna have a Black Panther movie, but not him, and it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be awkward. Can I even focus on Submariner?
I'm about to block people left and right. Why?
What?
Y'all better be on your best behavior.
Oh wow, Pubs is not in the mood, guys. Don't mess with them.
Coming in with the tyrannical behavior.
Tyranny. Yeah, so I was really pissed that I felt like he was deprived, but it is what it is. And I got to make a quick joke about superhero bodies real quickly. So here's the thing. They were going to make a Green Lantern show for HBO Max, and they've said that since the beginning. They're like, we're making a Green Lantern show. We're making a Green Lantern show. And we hear nothing about this show. We're like, where's the Green Lantern show? And so finally there's an article recently came out, and it has the guy who plays Guy Gardner, Green Lantern Guy Gardner. Yeah. And his name is Finn Whitrock. And he says, and they go, is it happening? He's like, it's still happening. I'm even doing my workout. And he like took off his shirt and he's like jacked. And he's like, I got my superhero body on and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, motherfucker, you wasted your time. You got jacked for no reason. That show is never going to happen. DC ain't never making that show.
No one wants to see that fucking fishbowl haircut fool.
This idiot.
The worst Green Lantern ever. It was the worst.
And that's so weird that's the guy who gets the show. You know what I'm saying? So like it doesn't. But also DC is constantly saying they're gonna make a movie of like everything. They're like Zatanna, Raven, Cyborg. They just keep announcing shows or movies.
They can't do any of those things correctly. You know why? Because they don't know the identity of their property. But I would most certainly show up for a Cyborg, Zatanna, and a Raven show. Like one. As long as Zatanna doesn't have the old school, not because I think it's sexist or anything. I always thought it was stupid. As long
top hat and like the bow tie.
Like no one wants to see a female sorceress dressed like that. It's silly.
I think it's funny that like early superheroes, every superhero had to have a stupid gimmick.
Yes.
And like writers would sit around in rooms and go, what's the next superhero? And someone's like, we base him off of a clown. Or they're like, what about a candy striper?
Right.
That shoots poison out of her lollipops or something, or something stupid like that. Like everything had to have a stupid gimmick back in the day.
Because they were all on opium back then.
They were high as fuck. And so with Zatanna, they're like, oh, let's have a woman who's a stage magician.
Yes.
Like you mean like at a kid's party? Yeah, at a kid's party. And the X-Men.
Good idea.
And the X-Men, during when they came around in the 60s, that was the first star that people started getting away from that.
Yeah.
Like they're like, just put them in spandex. Gimmick, right? Like
yellow, make it blue, make it some variation.
Bright colors, kids like bright colors, go for it.
But I would show up for those shows again. Get back to Comic-Con, all that stuff, man. I hope we get we're gonna get a Namor clip. I think we're gonna get a Guardians of the Galaxy clip. I haven't heard anything about that, but I know people are clamoring about it. I want to transition into Thor now.
Okay.
Early reviews are in. What are you hearing on these streets?
Okay, so I'm hearing some. Here's what I have noticed the divide being.
Oh boy.
No, though it seems as if dudes seem to be liking it,
Oh.
and a few women that I have seen
What?
don't hate it. They just don't like it as much, and they've actually stated that they go, if you think you're in for like it's woman hour for Thor, it's not that. Like I literally saw at least one of them said there's not enough women in it. Kind of thing.
Funny when Jane Foster's run happened in the comics, all the usual people came out and said, now Thor's a Disney princess. But Jane Foster repped as Thor, and it wasn't just about her being this woman representation character. It was about Jane Foster stepping into the mantle of being Thor as she was dying from cancer. She was a real hero. Have you read it? Have you read the entire?
Yes. Well, not the entire. I think I did the first 6. I wasn't able to keep going.
Everything up into her conclusion. They brought it back. They always bring them back, but it lasted as long as the War of the Realms. And I got to be real with you, man. I put respect on Jane Foster in the comic.
I respected it. I liked it. I didn't see it as just like a trope or a gimmick. They're like gimmicky comic sales. Here's what the sad thing is. So she went, and it was good. They're like, we successfully turned Thor into a woman. This is nuts, right. But it was well written,
very well written.
Then they do the thing with like, Captain Hydra and all this stuff, and how like, right. and then they make Sam Wilson the new Captain America, and I like that.
I like that as well.
And people were like, "Oh wow, this is working. This is where a black Captain America with wings. Damn, son." And so then they were like, "What?" And then they looked at the rest of their characters, and they're like, "Let's make them all minorities."
Who else can we change?
And they changed everybody. And suddenly people caught on. People said, "Hey, wait a minute, what is this?" And the problem is the shittiness of these other guys grabbed hold of Jane Foster, and Sam Wilson, and pulled them down into hell, where it was just all anti-SJWs were like, they're ruining our comics. We need to end this kind of like thing.
Well, you had great, was it Jason Aaron's run on Thor? Was that who it was for Jane? It's amazing, right?
Freaking amazing. And do you know this? I love that dude. And you know why?
Why?
Do you know how he started in comic books?
No, tell me.
He won a short story contest.
I like that. That.
He was like a mechanic or something, and they were like, write a 7-page story, and he wrote a 7-page Wolverine story, and he won.
No, interestingly enough, not a character anyone seems to be interested in race changing. No one wants to.
No, they changed him into a girl. They made him X-23 at the time, though.
No, they didn't change him into X-23. X-23 was a clone.
No. But what they did is they gave the Wolverine comic to her. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, but
you're right. Good point.
Yeah. That's just one of the things people point out. They're like, we love X-23, we love Wolverine. There's no reason for her to take the mantle of Wolverine.
Okay, so the mantle was because he died, which I thought that was a good death for Wolverine. If he would have stayed dead, I was like, it's a good way to end it. Especially that scene where he gets the flashback, like he sees himself killing all these people and being a hero, and he's like, worth it.
Yes, he was like, I lived a good life, and I like that he ends up becoming an adamantium statue, basically.
Very
that was really cool. I still like that he's down there and he's the statue. I actually think that a lot of their deaths are just amazing, and I kind of wish that, like, with that, if we were to actually, if I was to rewrite it all and make it a coherent story, I would give all these characters the death they have in the comic books. Like, I think Captain America's death at the end of Civil War is so great.
Oh,
and his resurrection just ruins it, and Wolverine's resurrection ruins his death, and so on and so forth.
So stupid. But so I guess not enough female representation is what some of the content creators are saying.
Yes, basically they said that Jane Foster and King Valkyrie were not in it enough, and that and I think it almost felt like they were upset that a Thor movie was about Thor. But apparently they didn't do justice to the Jane Foster story, side story. They either didn't talk about it at all or touched it just a little, but some of the complaints were like they didn't do it. But obviously it sounds like they didn't have enough time.
Yeah, see, this is what happens when you come in and you start implanting yourself onto the story, because you can't do Jane Foster's arc in a movie. It's multiple movies. Tessa Thompson needs to be
in less stuff. I agree.
Ooh, Tessa Thompson is she never really got the capital that you thought she was gonna get. She came out, she said she was in love with Janelle Monáe, and it never like really translated the way you thought it was gonna be.
She's another Westworld joke. She's just like, well, I'm in Westworld, and I was like, well, the hobo down the street who can suck his own dick impresses me more.
I mean, it is like people have died trying to.
Yeah, that's impressive. But whatever Tessa Thomas gives the world, it's garbage. And now, however, the movie will also feature, obviously, as we know, Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, and Natalie Portman is a pretty up there actress.
Yeah,
Academy Award winning.
Yeah. Hates this.
She hates genre work. She hates every time she's in science fiction or superhero. She phones it in.
Yeah,
she's just like, it's a paycheck. She's like, I'm a real artiste. I don't want to pretend to be a hero.
Ashton Kutcher. Had she not made a movie with Ashton Kutcher, I would believe everything she's saying. But I'm like,
I forgot Tessa Thompson was in the Men in Black remake.
Yeah. With him.
With Thor.
Yeah. Okay, so I just want to get serious about this for a second.
I agree with you, Pubs. I like Sorry to Bother You. I like most of Sorry to Bother You, and I do like her in that movie.
I'm not going to this movie for any of the things that these other people are going to see it for. I'm not going for representation. I'm not going for any of that stuff. I'm going for gore. I'm going for Christian Bale. I don't care about Chris Hemsworth. Christian Bale is back on the big screen, and he is one of my favorite method actors. And I think that had this been a more serious movie, he still would have been a great choice for gore, man. I could not think of a better person to play such a tragic character. Your thoughts?
I agree. Originally, I was being like a comic book a-hole, and I was like, he shouldn't have a nose. He should look more like Voldemort. Why doesn't he have a nose? Why does he have a nose? And I got over it. I'm watching it, and I was like, he really does look like a serial killer, though. He does look like a scary serial killer.
Hell, he lived this role. They're like, you can take your makeup off now, Mr. No.
It's funny. Batman was trending all day.
I saw
on Twitter. However, every time I went to it, it was trending for like three completely different reasons.
What's that?
And so the first one was Christian Bale apparently in an interview about this movie coming up. They said, "Would you ever do the Batman again?" And they go, "If Chris Nolan was directing, I'd suit up anytime." And it was people were like, "Oh." And then of course people are always, Twitter's always talking about the Batman because these idiots lurk on Twitter. And then the third one was make the Ben Affleck Batman.
I want to see it. Don't you?
I want to see the Ben Affleck one.
J-Lo got him sober. She's holding him up. We should get at least another 6 years out of him.
You're thinking about this wrong. You do not, and this is for everyone. You guys have to understand. You do not want your artists sober.
Oh, good point.
Get them a drink. They will be better. Trust me, Johnny Depp is not a good pirate, or he's not a good anything. Sober. Get the man a drink, right? So
near death for us to enjoy his work.
Forget this sobering up stuff. But you want Ben Affleck loose, like a caboose, so he's gonna have a good time.
The bullshit, man. Did the YouTuber X? Did Grace Randolph make a video about it?
In a live stream, she was the one who said there wasn't enough woman screen time.
All right, folks. Now you know that it's complete bullshit and it's completely safe to go see the movie. It's okay now.
Good. She did say it. She says it. I really like it, but I like it's setting up Thor 5, and I can't wait to see Thor 5. And I was like, what? And so that's where I'm thinking, I'm like, are they going to actually go into the full Jane Foster story in the next one?
Probably. She spoiled the whole movie for everyone.
She didn't spoil it. I mean, whatever antics happen, I'm gonna have fun,
Yeah, she's such a freaking communist.
Oh, don't even get me started on that one. Bex says, I agree. Get those men a drink.
I know, Bex. I hang outside of rehabs all day now. Like, you can be great again. Just handing people drinks, man. Yeah, Jane Foster, interesting character. Would not have rolled her out this way in the MCU. I definitely would have gradually built her up. Maybe had her make a cameo in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. You're asking me, how could I make that work? They don't need to make it work for a post-credit. We just need a scene from the last big movie that explains that something else is going on in the background. Because we all knew that she was coming back as Thor because of San Diego Comic-Con. But if you connect it in a film, people will accept it more. Your thoughts?
I totally agree. And actually, this reminds me of a rant I was going on the other day about Miss Marvel.
Oh, okay.
So Miss Marvel is not really being viewed right now. People are watching, but it's not hitting those numbers.
The number 1 rated Marvel show.
Oh, in terms of a rating made of 5 critics. In terms of actual viewing, it has less than half of Hawkeye's. It wouldn't even survive on basic cable with those numbers.
Why are you such a hater?
And so I'm talking facts right now. And so here's you know what the problem is?
What?
Their job as producers, Kevin Feige and all that, their job is to make us love Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Not make a good product and go, they're going to magically know they want to see this. That's not going to happen, bro. And so this is all the no-brainer steps that I would have done. And why do I know this and Kevin Feige doesn't know this? I don't know. But yeah, it is not like out of five critics. So as opposed to like the the 96 that whatchamacallit has.
Right.
No Way Home. That's like has 80 critics or something, which is a harder thing to maintain. But like, so check this out. 1, Miss Marvel should have had her first appearance in a Marvel movie.
100%.
She should have appeared quickly as a superhero. You don't know her origin or whatever. Just put her in there in a likable movie to get people like kind of like, what's going on? I'll check it out. Make sure she's in a cool scene too.
Yeah.
Whatever she does, it's got to be cool. Then in the movie, obviously they haven't done it yet. But I think they're probably saving it for the end where like Miss Captain Marvel's going to come, Brie Larson. Fuck that. They should have had Captain Marvel. They should have Captain Marvel in the second episode.
Okay.
Because people would tune in if an Avenger from the movies is in there. Don't save it all for the end. Put something cool in the beginning.
Would have tuned in for Brie Larson. She's like radioactive waste.
Well, here's what I really would do if I had the money. I would put her in number 2 because here's the thing. Another thing, they're doing the slow burn where she doesn't have her costume yet. I hate that. Give them their costume and their identity early in their adventures.
You hand that tiara out first.
Yes, exactly. Brie Larson should be like, here's a tiara. You are now my sidekick. Boom. Right. And then later on down the line, just to make sure, I would have paid for a Tom Holland Spider-Man cameo in an episode down the line. And if Brie Larson doesn't bring enough people, he certainly will.
100%. 100%. Especially now since they don't have to bill her as the character, which they were trying to do, that was going to replace Spider-Man. I know Feige and the rest of the mutants over there were like, we got Kamala. This would be good. But now that we know we're getting 3 more Spider-Man movies in the MCU, and since we all have confirmed that Sony doesn't know what to do with this character or Venom, they're doing okay with the Miles Morales animated stuff. But we know that the second movie is probably going to bomb. Like, right? They're not going to be able to maintain this for 2 movies.
Well, with the thing is that Miles Morales had a really good idea for a movie, and they were like, let's give it to the white guy. And they took his story and they gave it to freaking No Way Home, right? To Tom Holland.
Yeah,
and so now
not all the way,
but the premise has been kind of stolen, and I feel like that's an insult to Miles Morales. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, if you've read the Ultimates, they could still. Oh man, it's ingenious. Kevin Feige's Satan. You're right, he is Satan.
Let's hope he is, because I'm tired. If he's working off of God's energy right now, I don't need this. I want some demonic energy,
bro.
Marvel needs to put it in, a pep in their step.
Okay, I think that Kevin Feige and the team, they're gonna kill Peter Parker off. He's gonna die the same way he died in the friggin' Ultimates comics, and then we're gonna Miles.
But I believe it'll happen after his 6th movie.
No, he only has 3 on his he has 3 left on his contract.
Right, that'll be 6. Once he hits 6, they're not going to do it now. But I agree with you. They'll die and then they'll hand it off to Miles, and that's good. I like that better than them existing at the same time. Miles Morales is better when he's the one true Spider-Man.
100%.
I don't want people arguing whether he's the real Spider-Man or not. I can't stand that.
Yeah, I can't. The tokenized Spider-Man. I see where people were coming with that. The blackwash Spider-Man. Okay, I get it, but if you haven't read the story, how can you know it? I actually thought it was a decent story. I thought it was really good. I think Miles Morales. I actually really enjoy Miles and Kamala together. They're really cool.
I'm absolutely cool with that. And then recently, like them two and like Kid Nova. It's not Kid Nova. He's the real Nova, but he's like a kid nowadays.
Yeah.
I remember when Nova, like literally, his comic was called A Man Called Nova.
Yes,
a man, not a kid. He was an adult. He could buy beer if he wanted to. Anyway, so Nova has joined the three of them, and they're like running around together. But what was I talking about?
You're mad. You're mad. You're right.
We were really dark and hard on comic books right now.
Yeah, well, it's been a while. Usually we're talking about a lot of political shit on Fanboy, and now we get to talk about fanboy shit.
We live in political age, man. It's crazy. I can't turn away from it, man. It's destroying everything.
Bro, I wake up and I live and breathe C-SPAN. Nobody watches C-SPAN. Do you know anyone that sat down and said, "Hey, I watched about 3 hours of C-SPAN. It was a local alderman speaking."
Only psychos watch C-SPAN.
So I mean, I guess that brings us to the next thing, man. We're talking. Unless did you have something else to say about?
But I'm saying, when you admit that my way of how they should have produced it.
Oh no, it's perfect. I like it.
It's also financially feasible because these things cost so much money. I would just be like, pay the writers less. Or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you here's what I'm saying, if it's because this is what they do with the movies, they make sure to give you a guest appearance that you have to, like, for instance, Doctor Strange, we're going to see it anyway, but everyone wanted to go see it because of the Illuminati. They wanted to see them on screen.
I watched it again the other day, and I got to tell you something. My wife watched it, and she thought it was terrifying. Watched it again, and I was like, man, this movie was better, even better the second time.
Oh, there's something we need to talk about regarding this real quick. Public says, what the fuck is a C-SPAN?
It's actually the letter C.
It's the letter C. It's just people. It's literally like it's like a bad stream gone wrong. It's someone with a camcorder filming Congress or some shit, local government or whatever people say. Just being boring. And then you realize why things move so slow in Washington, because you're like, what are they doing? They're taking a recess. They just had a recess.
I'll drop the link in the chat, and then they'll let you know.
I don't give a link to C-SPAN.
Yeah.
Sounds like some old people shit. It is. It absolutely is. It's what your grandma be watching. So here's what we got to be watching. You heard about what's coming out in September.
What's on its way? What?
Not in theaters. It's going to go straight to digital. But for digital release and purchase is going to be the director's cut or extended cut of No Way Home.
Ah, fuck that shit. I thought you were going to say Doctor Strange in the multiverse of
that. And they said basically the idea is that if that's a successful business model, they're willing to do that with other Marvel movies, including Doctor Strange. As we know, Sam Raimi has said he has an extended cut that he wanted to put out.
The Raimi cut.
The Raimi cut, but it was R. It was like, I don't know if it's hard R, but it's certainly R.
I can see that movie being a hard R for real.
Like, I can see him going. I mean, he's into like this demonic shit. So yeah,
that's crazy. He's married to was he married to Xena? Was he married to Xena? Somebody he was associated with was married to Xena.
Was he married to Xena? He's the luckiest man alive. Lucy Lawless.
Lucy.
Well, maybe not the luckiest alive.
Lucy Lawless.
But that's not doing bad for yourself. You know.
Talk about representation. Before people were willing to deal with those type of relationships in America, Lucy Lawless and what was Xena's sidekick's name? Anyone who remembers?
What was Gabrielle?
Gabrielle. Do you remember that? Remember how that like?
I loved all the lesbian jokes going on in Xena about those two, right?
Absolutely insane. It was like the way it just changed. She was just like her wholesome friend, and she became more wholesome as the time went on. Was it Raimi that was married to her?
No, it's not him. So she, nah. Actually, her name Lawless comes from her husband Garth Lawless.
Fuck you, Garth.
They divorced in '95 though.
So
but yeah, no, if you guys have not seen, you know what? I think a lot of the youngins in the stream probably do not know what Xena Warrior Princess is.
Bex does. Bex said, yeah, they were totally gay for each other.
My grandma be watching Univision. I bet you Pubs doesn't know what Xena Warrior Princess is, but should. Pubs wants to know.
Pubs, you need to go watch Xena.
So Xena Warrior Princess it takes place in ancient Greece, and it was like she's almost like a Wonder Woman. She's like a super powered ancient Greek warrior woman, and her sidekick Gabrielle, and almost like the way Batman and Robin used to be like ambiguously gay. They were ambiguous lesbians.
Yeah,
but it was television in the '90s, so they weren't allowed to say it.
Yeah.
So there'd be scenes bubble baths.
Towards the end of the series, they had a full-on love affair. It was just representing like any physical way, shape, or form.
I remember you turn on an episode and the first scene is like them taking bubble baths together, and they're like talking, and I'm like, what? Like they just don't address it.
Kevin Sorbo and his friggin' character, his sidekick, Aeolus.
Aeolus, that's right.
The guy that knew kung fu in ancient Greece. It made no sense. Pub says, I love Greek women. KL, welcome in. Kathy,
how are you? What up?
Yeah, insane stuff, man. Absolutely. So let me ask you this question. We were talking about Thor. You going to see it opening day? What's your plan?
Yes, I will. I will watch it. Here's the thing: I'm losing faith in these newer Marvel movies, but Thor is at least a franchise that I like have faith in.
Okay,
so I'll definitely go. Remember, I saw Eternals opening day. I feel burned. I feel real burned. Yeah,
I'm Crow here, man. I watched Doctor Strange the other day, the first one, and I was like, oh man, I really was really hard on this movie. In retrospect, this is a great film. This is actually a really good film.
I watched that and Wanda again before Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Multiverse, and it holds up. I agree with you. When it first came out, I was like, it's bland.
Yeah,
but it's not that bland. It's actually pretty decent.
Really cutting edge. I was like, it's really good, man. It's really good. Jose, what up?
Welcome.
So okay, let's get into it, man. We got to get into the. Well, you want to get into Miles, or you want to go right to the showrunner?
No, you picked. What are we up to?
All right, so we got to talk about Miles Morales or Miles Thor Morales. Latest debacle by Marvel Comics.
This is more Marvel comic stuff. Sorry to eat up our time with comic book stuff, but this is what the fanboys are talking about. This is, unless you guys want to talk about the Supreme Court stuff, we're going to talk about this because this is more fun, right? So this is funny. This is actually funny scandalous,
right?
There's like different types of scandal. There's shameful scandal, but this is funny scandalous.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, guys, there's a series of what if comics, all based off of Miles Morales, and they're gonna basically be like, what if Miles Morales was Captain America? What if Miles Morales was Thor? What if Miles Morales was Iron Man? And the first one came out. And it's what if Miles Morales is Thor?
And
we'll tell you that what did you say the writer? The writer is white, half Mexican.
Half Mexican.
And he wrote in a lot. He wasn't just Thor. It's not just Black Thor. Miles Morales is black kid, right?
Black and Puerto Rican.
Right. He's Latino.
Latino.
It's not that he's just Thor. He's a like hip hop ghetto Thor. And Miles Morales is not really a ghetto kid.
No, he's not. He's
not at all. That's the thing.
Nerd, loving kid.
And so they have him say all sorts of crazy stuff.
Right.
Like, Thor's normal thing is by Odin's beard. But instead in this, he says by Odin's fade.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff. And I think what happened here was, man, its representation turned on itself because if you're not from New York, there's a certain way that Latinos, Caribbean blacks, African American, whatever you want to identify as, we got our own shit.
Right, and when he would activate the hammer, when he'd call
Oh,
the thunder, he goes, "All eyes on me."
it's pandering. It's pandering in all the wrong ways, man. And yeah, so the artist, the writer, had to make a public apology in regard to this because obviously it wasn't a bunch of conservatives that were going crazy over this. It was
Right. It's the left is like, what the hell?
they cannibalized one of their own. And bro, I don't know if you people know this. And I said you people, you fine people in the audience. Comic writers and artists, unless they're at the upper echelon of that career path, they don't get paid much. This guy had to donate his entire, well, didn't have to. He said he volunteered his entire pay to a local Brooklyn foundation, and he
He's
apologized.
like, something for blacks. Whatever. He doesn't know what it is.
I started handing money out to black.
Handing out to black people.
I'm sorry. What are your thoughts, Mantis?
That's ridiculous. And so I'm just gonna say it. This is why I can't be a lefty anymore, like I was when I was a young man. I don't give into terrorism, I don't give into cancel culture, and I don't like apologize unless like I really have done something wrong. Right. So because he's a writer and he can imagine things, and it's a what if what if Miles Morales' Thor is such a ridiculous concept? Right. He just rolled with the silliness of it.
Right. Okay. I could dig that.
I wouldn't buy any of you anything from the dollar menu for accidentally writing a racist script. Let alone give out real money. Forget that.
Okay. I can take that.
Stealing rooms.
Stealing rooms. Yes, Thor was running around getting it. It's crazy though, man, because the apology thing, but the giving away his pay. I honestly don't even need an apology. It's just like, okay, don't write this nonsense again. I haven't read it, but I love the What If series, man. I love that line of comics because it is silly. It's campy. It's situations you would never want to see in any way, shape, or form. But to have to give up your entire paycheck, allegedly on volunteered his entire paycheck.
Well, here's what I'm saying. It's extorted out of him.
Right.
The idea is he's saying he's just like, yo, I'm giving this stuff up. He's not giving anything up. He's got a gun to his head. If he wants to work again, he's gonna have to bow down to cancel culture.
Well, okay, so here's what we need to do. We need to objectively read the comic, right? So unfortunately, it's not up on Marvel Unlimited. So that means I gotta go into one of these freaking comic stores with these fat, sweaty people. I'm like, hey, don't fucking touch me, bro.
Yo, who the hell are you, bro? I miss going to comic stores. I hate that I have to order all my comics on Amazon.
I love
I hate that I have $3 off every $10, and I have it sent directly to my house, and I don't have to deal
with that bulbous, disgusting person, not in stature, but just in attitude. Let's keep it real, man.
But you do realize that usually in a comic store, I'm the fat, bulbous dude.
You are not that guy.
I'm like sweating. I don't have hair, so the sweat comes down. And I'm usually like hard to breathe. I'm like,
worse than that guy.
And I look over, like little kids think I'm gonna eat them and shit. I'm the guy who stays in the comic store reading.
You have an issue of the Avengers. Avengers.
They're like, do you work here? I'm like, no. They're like, you've been here for 4 hours. I'm like, I know.
You know who's worse than that guy? It's the fake hot chick who works at the comic store. You know, the goth girl.
I do. I know her all too well.
The one that thinks that everyone's into her.
Because we are.
You are. I can't stand her. I'm just like, look, lady, give me my comics. I don't want to deal with any bullshit today. But no, we got to go read the comics objectively and see how bad it is. Because
real quick, Publix says let people apologize how they want. If he chose to do that so that he can do that. I'm not saying he can't do that. I'm just saying beta.
No, Mantis is suggesting that he didn't do it in an altruistic way.
It's not true charity. It's actually, I hate to get all Christian on you guys. It's why if you ever see a Christian arguing against like welfare or things like that, it's because it's not true charity. True charity comes from the heart.
Right here.
As a matter of fact, I believe charity is derived from the Greek word for love.
Yeah.
It actually has to come from love. And if your government it points a gun at your head and says you're going to give me a fraction of your paycheck to give to the little guy, that's not the same thing as Christian charity.
Also, Charity is the name of many popular strippers. So make sure to give Charity a little charity the next time you're up in the club.
Remember to tip your strippers, guys.
I hate that place.
Public says it's not extorted. He's spineless.
Why do you think? Okay, go ahead, Mantis.
My first thing is, when it comes down to it, I'm not saying this about every snafu you get into, but if he really felt that way, if he really felt the way that the cancel culture media thinks about it, he probably wouldn't have written it in the first place.
Oh, good point. Maybe
right? He probably would have thought about it. Right?
Stereotypes that he was presenting in the comics. And why not? Here's the thing I've never understood. Why didn't they just get a Black Tino, an Afro Latino
to write it?
Comic.
I agree. And then also, what about the edit? What about these editors? Is Sana Amanat sleeping at the wheel or something? Was she like she might not have been the editor of that comic, but like people like her, they should look at it and go, this might not be an appropriate joke because you're not Black and maybe you can't make that joke.
Or it's not an appropriate joke because no one actually speaks that way. No got all eyes on me. Now, I might hit a good shot and go, Jordan, or, if you're into LeBron, but I'm not going to be like, all eyes on me. Yeah, no.
Yet Jesus said to pay your taxes, Mantis. And I was actually talking to Gray about this. It's true. Yes. I wouldn't say fight. I wouldn't say fight taxes. I'm not saying fight taxes.
We're going on to the render unto Caesar. What is Caesar?
Give Caesar what is Caesar's. Give to God what is God.
I'm gonna send you some interesting commentary on that because that's one of the never mind. We're not talking about real shit tonight.
Always tip your strippers. Yo,
never tip your strippers. Hey, I'll be right back. I just got to use the bathroom, and you run out the back door.
Yo, who was it that tried to pay strippers with fake money?
Me. That was me. I've been doing it for years. And I hate
no, my man. It was a famous rapper.
Usher? It sounds like something Usher would do.
Oh, Usher Bucks. Yes, he had something called Usher Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And they were still pushing Usher Bucks with at a glance look like real dollars, and they really had pictures of him on it. And him and his crew were still something, and they tried to get out, and the girls caught them before.
Shout out to Usher doing his damn thing. On the damn thing.
This is my confession.
These dollars ain't real. Apparently, Chris Brown wants to take Usher in the next verses. And if you didn't see Omarion versus Mario, Mantis, you missed.
What was this?
It was the other night, and it was Omarion got smoked. Pause. But this was one of the most. I cannot describe what happened that night. You can only watch like maybe the 15-minute recap of it to really see the ghetto-ness at its.
I mean, I hope we can get the remap because I love both of them. So, Public says, I hope he got his ass kicked. So I understand that bouncers did stop them on their way out. I don't know if there was actually an altercation, but I know the cops were called and stuff.
They didn't do shit. Usher's got herpes. Nobody wants to touch him. Allegedly.
Like, just stay home and watch your porn.
Prom.
Can't tip the strippers. Yeah, no. I actually very much agree with Gray Winthrop.
Well, I mean, that's what made what Usher did with like such a great troll. He can obviously pay for strippers. He's got the money, but he was like, "Here's these Usher bucks."
Yeah, right. Like, why are you trying to cheat a stripper? Not only that, very few people work as hard as a stripper.
Not the ones.
Maybe a coal miner or some shit. But I'm saying these girls work
the ones from Monday to Thursday.
Okay.
Let's be real, right? The Breakfast Club strippers. Cincy knows what I'm talking about. He's a stripper connoisseur.
Look at what Gray says, and this is true. Strippers have to pay to be on the stage.
Yeah, of course.
They can end up owing the club money at the end of the night if they don't make enough tips. Very true.
Let me ask you a question. Why is that Usher's problem? He gave him Usher bucks. They could sell those Usher bucks on eBay. Think about how exclusive that is.
That's so funny. That's it's so funny. This is going back to the original part of the episode when I was defending Andrew Dominic's comments about Anna de Armas. right. He's like, who doesn't want to see an NC-17 movie with Ana de Armas? We're like, what? You just said that about your actress?
It's still very weird. In regards to Miles Morales in this comic, right? I think that Miles Morales is one of those characters that has been mishandled in the comics, and they kind of rebounded back, man. If you haven't read King in Black, if you didn't read any of the stuff with Carnage, when Carnage came back, Miles Morales is starting to come into his own. He thought he was Scrooge McDuck. Yes, Max.
He comes home. He has like a room probably filled with Usher bucks, and he jumps in there and he's like, swim around.
Well, listen, Usher was just making sure that he didn't get Cardi B'd in the club. If you don't know what that means, go look it up. Go look it up. Who wants to get Cardi B'd when you've only got Usher bucks? But I will say this: the most successful and the most my favorite representation of Miles is not actually from the movie. It's from the Spider-Man game, because that's the real Miles in that Spider-Man game. He's just a nerdy kid trying to figure
it's a good adaptation of it. I agree.
Amazing one.
Yeah, Gray, I will say Ana de Armas got paid. She's fine. Yes, she's very fine. I gotta say, she's like one of my top tier actresses. Like, if someone was like, who's the hot actress right now? Ana de Armas was who I would think about.
Wait, please highlight Public's thing. This is amazing. Public's such a troll. What if he actually thinks Usher bucks are real money? Like he isn't allowed to spend real money in his hand, it only gives him Usher.
And he just goes around, he's like tipping waitresses and stuff.
It's like, I don't understand why everyone's so mad at me.
I mean, he could be out of it. He hasn't really been hot for a while. You know how these performers, they go nuts.
A decade. I want to hear from the chat. Would you guys watch a versus between Usher and Chris Brown? Controversial, I know, but
fuck yeah, are you kidding me?
I'd watch it. Bellboy, welcome in.
Bellboy, what up? Long time to see, brother. How are you?
So final thoughts on Miles Morales before we get to the showrunner, because this is the shit that's really gonna pop off, man.
I'm gonna straight up the whole like Spider-Man getting 3 more movies really fucking irritated me. I actually wanted Peter to die now.
Yes.
I was like ready for Peter to die at the end of No Way Home, and then a young black kid takes place. But they're gonna give him 3 more movies. So be it. I guess what's his face? I guess his best friend gets to be the Hobgoblin. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. But I mean, they better make those movies quick, because I don't have a lifetime. I don't want to be an old man before I see Miles Morales.
I need that whole arc wrapped up in the first movie. Right, I need that part, the Hobgoblin, all that shit. I need that wrapped up in the first movie. All right, kids, we had a good run talking about fanboy shit. It's been a overall positive night, I think. Usher Bucks being the most controversial thing that came out of our mouth.
Usher Bucks is the new Dogecoin. Invest in Usher Bucks, guys.
D Love says if there was nothing better to watch.
Damn. Elon Musk just bought Usher Bucks. I would love that. And I would love if he made like that connected to Twitter. Like you could pay your Twitter bill with Usher Bucks.
You're not saying it right. It's Usher Bucks.
Usher Bucks?
Usher
Bucks. Okay.
He's like Usher.
Okay, so what? So tell us what the final story is, my friend.
Oh God. Reports are in from trusted trades such as the Hollywood Reporter, Yahoo News. Johnny Depp may be returning to the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise and may allegedly, speculated at this point, could get up to $300 million to return to the franchise. Right.
And so obviously that wouldn't be a single film. That sounds like a multi-picture film.
Right.
And you know what? To top it off, this is fascinating information. Do you know where she was spotted on Long Island?
She was at Marshall's.
Yeah, she was in Marshall's in the bargain section looking for bargain clothing. That's where Amber Heard ended up.
I just keep hearing Gandalf like, I cast thee out.
What are our thoughts on this, guys? Was this woman railroaded? Did she get the shaft? Does Johnny deserve this $300 million? Now, just to let you know, when executives were asked, they said, there you go. He's not with us at this time. Which means he just hasn't signed his contract yet. They haven't hammered it out. That's double speak.
But we talked about this on Fanboy. I don't think it would behoove him to do this. But I said this like when that whole shit went down. His next step should be from Amber to Disney to Warner Brothers. Like, you did me dirty, and I think I got a case here. Maybe not strong enough a case to get the full amount, but you're gonna open the doors. I said it,
Steve. I'm gonna say something real offensive to you right now.
What?
You a Ray Fisher motherfucker. Here's the thing.
What do you mean I'm a Ray Fisher?
You're are you referring? Let me double check before I attack your words. Are you saying that he should have a lawsuit?
Oh my God, you're not listening. Lawsuits and defamation isn't about actually what can happen when it comes to a large conglomerate. It's what not can happen, what's going to happen, but what could possibly happen. If he decided to turn around and sue them and say, you see that I have been acquitted, I have been mantis. Think about it for a second, bro.
No, you don't understand. He wants to get back into acting. He can get $300 million just for acting. He shouldn't sue anybody at this point.
Bro. But you don't think the two large companies that took a public stand the way they did don't need to be muscled back into letting
No, you want a good relationship with these people. They've already know the deal. They need to just give him a job.
I agree with you on that. If it wasn't Disney and Warner Brothers, and had they not done what they did, I'm saying that they knew what was coming, and it was like, okay, let's just get him back to the negotiation table.
Since he said, I thought there was no dollar amount that he would work for Disney again. He might have said that. I wouldn't be surprised if he.
Did he say it? I think he did.
I don't know if he did.
Listen, you got a link for that? Drop a link. We'll definitely air it out. But $300 million, if they came to the table for him, no, since he did say that. Okay, if they came to the table with him for 300, he isn't even acting Jack Sparrow. That's his drunk ass. Yeah, he's a drunk. He admitted to that.
I said, give him a drink on set. I'm fine with this. Just perform, motherfucker.
Wait, hold on. He's drunk. He's a drug addict. But you know what he's not? A woman beater.
Right.
Which is what this whole thing is about, and which is why Amber Heard has been cast out to the shores of Long Island or Staten Island.
No. It's not just Long Island. It's a Marshalls on Long Island. A Marshalls in Manhattan might be one thing, but a Marshalls on Long Island, that is the bottom of the barrel. This chick is scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Do you watch? Have you ever watched Broad City before?
Yeah.
You remember that episode when she had to go get the mail from like Roosevelt Island?
Right. She had to keep taking ferries. And she goes there. It's a massive complex, and there's just one old lady sitting there.
I picture Amber Heard in Long Island.
Oh my God! Yo, but here's what I'm saying with the lawsuit, and this is the problem with strategy and suing everyone, and American culture of suing just everyone and their mother. Basically, here's the deal: Ray Fisher could be an actor right now if he didn't go ham.
I don't know. Should Ray Fisher have not gone ham? Coming to find out now that
he should have started, and as the things go, finagled his way back into the system.
But that's exactly what I'm saying with the Johnny. I may have not read correctly. I'm saying that with the looming possibility of a lawsuit, Disney was like, get him back to the table. That's what I meant to say.
Okay, back to the table. But I'm saying, like, don't jump off on that lawsuit.
No. But with
even though he may have one, I'm just saying, if you can bleed the cow. Or I don't know what the phrase is. Bleed the lizard, whatever the fuck it is, longer over time than overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bleed the cow. That's a very common.
Bleed the cow. There we go. What does it mean?
It sounds sexual in nature. With Ray Fisher, though, I think his only option was to sue, because now we know that fucking psychopath Josh Whedon. You know, he's like, he wake up in the morning, he's like, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher. I'm going after today.
Well, the I believe in the DC curse. I believe that the Snyderverse was cursed, and everyone involved in it has been suffering.
Except for
Momoa.
Except for Momoa and freaking the pretty guy. What's his name? Superman.
No, they don't want him back though. They won't hire him.
Perfect for him. He's been doing great.
No, he hasn't been doing great. I mean, Superman is obviously a better job than being on a Netflix show.
Bro, he's doing amazing. He's doing better than Ben Affleck is doing. Right
no, he wants to be an A-list star is what he wants. That's what
star.
He's not an A-list star. If you're doing television, if you're doing a series for Netflix, you're not an A-list star.
Mission Impossible. He's being considered by some people one of the greatest additions to Mission Impossible as a villain.
He was amazing. He was an amazing villain.
So just because he's on The Witcher, the show did amazing.
It's doing amazing. Here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not working. Yeah. I'm not saying he's not in a successful show and all these things.
Right.
But there were a few roles that are like top tier. One of Superman. And they need, if he was really doing great, he'd have a Superman sequel, man.
I'm saying that he's doing better than he ever did in that franchise. Like his
what I'm saying is the real curse is that he should have a trilogy of movies.
No, 100%. But we can all agree he's doing better than fucking Ben Affleck, right?
Ben Affleck, he's barely alive, my man.
Well, he's boning J-Lo, so maybe we need to add that to the equation. So what does that bring him from a 10 to a what? No,
a decade ago that would have meant something to me.
Oh,
it means nothing now. What up, lady? Welcome in.
Wait, what is Cincy saying? Okay, so they're coming to terms where they both win. No, Amber lost.
She's in Marshalls, bro. No, here's what it is. I shop at Marshalls all the time, but if you shop at Marshalls, you ain't winning shit.
And it could be totally true. She could be building a narrative, but I can't help it, man. All I hear is I cast the out whenever I see that picture of her at Marshall's, where she could have most likely set that up. But yeah, the judge actually, funny that you bring that up. The judge actually, another judge just actually ordered that she pay that money. So that's how it works for defamation cases. You appeal, and then another judge.
She can't appeal unless she pays, which is a funny thing.
Yeah.
So, and she's hoping to try to stack on. She's gonna keep writing this, and then like, what is she? She's hoping to raise she'll end up being like a $200 million debt before she pays. But they say no, you got to pay first, homegirl. I love that. I freaking love that. Basically, here's what I'm saying. If you notice in Shazam, the reason why they only have a body double for Superman and not Superman's, not actually Henry Cavill, is they wanted to pay him chump change for the cameo.
Yeah.
They insulted him, and he was like, "That is so cheap. No way." This is a problem. I think this is part of the curse.
No, so and also they don't want to work with The Rock's ex-wife, who was fighting for him to get more.
Right, she's very aggressive, from what I understand. Rogue says, "Yo, my husband is laughing at your jokes. He loves Fanboy Modeling School." Well, that's awesome. Say what up to your husband, Rogue. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But I'm saying he would have had that cameo. They would have paid him whatever if he want. They would have given him a sequel if he wasn't, if he wasn't having issues right now.
Wait, he's not
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill is not having issues.
His career is not destroyed, but I'm saying he's not doing as well as he should be.
No, you're doing it. You're creating a false narrative. He's doing better than the actual DCEU is.
No, you don't understand. you don't understand. So it's not about I understand what you're saying. Like the DCEU franchise is going to hell. But they should want to pay him $20 million to do a sequel. They're not willing to do that because he's supposedly problematic.
But that's not his fault. That's indicative of how, and I understand.
That's the part of the curse, is what I'm saying.
I know that's a part of the curse, but Henry Cavill is winning. He's beating the curse.
He's not making $20 million on The Witcher.
But he's not stuck to this bullshit ass property.
I dig it. I'm just saying there's so much prestige that goes with being Superman. That it is a curse that they don't want to make a sequel, and they won't want him they want to give him chump change for things. That is cursed. I would say that's cursed.
No, I understand what you're saying, my good brother. And see, I'm going to stick to my word after my last episode with DaVincio, and I guess we can agree on that. I'm going to lead with love. I value and cherish you as a black man.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes, folks. So say the rest of that. So the rest of whatever's on your mind, bro.
You're an amazing brother. You're an amazing brother. You've been amazing since we were kids. You're absolutely wrong.
So here's what I gotta say. This is in response to you and Gray Winthrop. He is a success in life.
Right.
He isn't a success as in a show.
Curse. What's
right?
curse? That's what we're waiting
So
to
the curse is he is not an A-lister, and Superman, the role of Superman should make you an A-lister. Boom.
He is an A-lister. That's what
he is not an A-lister.
What metric? He's Henry Cavill. He built a computer.
Nobody doing a show is an A-lister.
Mantis, I want you to stop this.
Tom Cruise is an A-lister. Tom Hanks is an A-lister.
I want you to stop this.
He's on a Netflix series.
Mantis,
that's not horrible, but it's not.
Tom Hanks making movies on Apple TV. You stop it. You stop this madness right now. You stop this. You pull yourself together.
Say that again.
Tom Hanks is doing movies. His last movie was on Apple TV,
which they paid a ridiculous amount of money for because they were so impressed with it.
Can someone
they could get exclusive rights for it?
Listen to me. Stop this madness. You pull yourself together.
That's success.
You pull yourself together right now. You stop hating on Henry Cavill, because I know what this is actually about. You folks weren't around after the first Man of Steel came out, and Mantis had some sharp words for Henry Cavill's Superman.
I love that movie. What are you talking about?
You love the movie, but I remember we were sitting in New Rochelle. We're watching it at 4 a.m. when you and Zeus came over, and you were just like, I don't know, man. I just don't think he's Superman.
No, I didn't think he was Clark Kent or whatever. I think he was. I think he's a bad Clark Kent.
Okay. You and I know you. If it's not the total package,
yes, I admit it. I'm the first one to admit it. I'm a comic book Nazi. Like like I said, like you've said before, if their tiara is off, I'm like, this is not Wonder Woman. She's wearing the wrong tiara.
I saw Mantis Spartan kick a 12-year-old at Comic-Con. He was like, that Wolverine costume is not accurate to this era. And that little kid went flying down those fucking steps, man. But I would not say he's under the curse. He's doing well. Him and Jason Momoa have both beat the curse, except for Jason Momoa's marriage fell apart, but that may have to do more with Lisa Bonet than anything else, which is really sad because he actually had a really deep love for her, man. But depending on how you view this next statement, apparently Jason Momoa, according to him, was watching A Different World or The Cosby Show, and he saw Lisa Bonet on it, and he was like, Mommy, I'm going to marry that woman. And then he did.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's the most baller move I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
See, he's the one the curse hasn't touched. Rogue Radio says Henry Cavill once acted in The Count of Monte Cristo, and whenever his name is mentioned, I don't see Superman. I see a kid in a costume drama.
He was great in that movie, and
he's a good actor, though.
I love that rendition of The Count.
I think he's here's what it is. I think he's a great actor. I think he could be in more higher grossing movies and I think he could be an A-lister, and the curse is holding him back, aka Warner Brothers garbaginess.
Cincy Star says Jason Momoa, let's get that up there. Jason Momoa rides on the back of Lenny Kravitz's back. I mean, if by rides on his back,
I guess.
Rides on the bike. I got you. Well, they're Eskimo brothers now. You know, they're good friends. They're actually really good friends.
And that's another thing. Jason Momoa is so cool. Like, he has no beef with anybody.
Neither does Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz is like,
that's what I'm saying. They're chill guys. Like, yo, what up, bro?
They probably be like,
you take care of my ex. Yeah, she's good. She's good, bro.
Just meet up and like, we don't even need to talk about her anymore. Let's talk about us. Let's talk about what we're gonna do this weekend.
He would be the type of guy to offer, like, let's play hacky sack.
Yeah, when Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock, and then Will Smith accepted his award.
It's crazy. We live in a bizarre world that is a phrase, right?
Yes, I love it. Jason Momoa, go back and look at the footage. He's looking at Will Smith accept the award, and you can see he's relating. He's like relating to him. Fuck Man of Steel. Bring Lucifer in the game to be Thanos of DC. Oh, so since he's bringing in something that's very good. I don't like the Lucifer show, but if you're talking about Lucifer Morningstar in the comics,
the comics one, not the show one. The show one's like whatever.
Too OP for the DCEU as it is. But
well, they should build up to it. They need more whatever. But
X says, I just want to see what fine man she's gonna pick up next. Lisa Bonet, probably the guy at Whole Foods. She's probably gonna be hanging out at Whole Foods, or you know.
That's the problem with fame, right? That you don't really know how long it's going to last or when it's going to last. And some of these people who used to be riding high on the top, like you said, are bagging at Whole Foods.
Oh, not Eddington, or what was the brother's name from the Cosbys? He was the older sister's husband.
Yeah, and he ended up he was bagging at some supermarket, and they got him on film, and they were like, "Don't I know you from the Cosby Show, brother?"
I'd have punched that fool in the face. But to be fair, I know people who work at Whole Foods, and it is not, according to the few people I know that work there, they said it's not the worst job. Since he says from the comics, yes,
I agree with that.
Great stuff, great take.
Although I'll say this, and another thing about Henry Cavill, I absolutely got to say, he could play multiple characters in the MCU. To be honest, if I was Kevin Feige, because I love me my Henry Cavill. If I was Kevin Feige, I would pick him up. I would either get him to do Wonder Man, or I would get him to play Hercules.
Oh, you read my fucking mind. I was literally waiting for my turn to talk and say he should play Herc.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. But
that's
what I'm saying. The people should be banging down his door because I think he's so talented.
They are banging down his door, you play hater. Stop trying to lay this curse on him. He's not cursed.
They're banging him down his door?
Mantis, why do you hate white men so much?
Because years of oppression and destruction. No. I kid. No, I love Henry Cavill. He's my man. He played rugby, and he dated Gina Carano. So he's cool in my
that's
book.
what it is. I was about to say that. It's because he banged Gina Carano, isn't it? That's what this is all about. He banged your beautiful conservative queen.
You got me. Gina. So he's gonna be in the movie Argyle, which is like a spy movie.
Yeah.
Upcoming spy movie. A world-class spy suffering from amnesia is tricked into believing he is a best-selling spy novelist. After his enemies with lethal skills return, he goes down a path of revenge against a shadowy organization.
Oh, the porn.
That's whatever. And then Enola Holmes, which I actually like Enola Holmes. That's Netflix as well. So those are his next two projects.
Wait, no, he's got something else coming out. Highlander. He's going to be the showrunner. He's going to be the runner for Highlander.
Oh, let me see what's going on with that, because that's awesome. If that's a thing.
Yeah. Wait, let's talk about your hatred because he banged Gina Carano. How long has this been plaguing you? When did you first wake up cold?
Every night, my friend. Every night.
Did you watch Gina Carano's new movie?
I have not, just because, here's the thing. You have to subscribe to the Daily Wire. And I assume because here's what it is. When something goes on streaming, any streaming, it goes on pirate real quick. Right? For some reason it's not. Wait,
hold on for a second. I want to address this. Yes, Gray. They have to play the entire Highlander soundtrack is a Queen album, a kind of magic. They have to play. Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
I am immortal. I have inside me blood of kings. I have no rival. No man can be my equal.
Absolutely amazing. So
Highlander. Yeah, if he's Highlander, this would be great. But Gina. So the problem with Daily Wire is they're like, you should subscribe, and the only thing they have is Ben Shapiro and that movie. Now I feel like down the line, when they make more movies and they actually make it a good streaming service, it might be worthy too.
Right. Wait,
I'm waiting for it to appear on a pirate site, basically.
Wait, that doesn't have anything to do with your hatred of Henry Cavill because he's banging Gina. That's what the audience wants to hear. When did you first have to deal with that cold reality? Like when you were watching Man of Steel, were you thinking like the Man of Steel is in The Woman I Love?
I just said a bitch ass beta is in The Woman I Love. I was like, you call that a Superman? I call that a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? I could out Superman Henry.
Would you fight Henry Cavill in the streets?
I would.
Now let's
not Momoa, but Henry Cavill. I could tell his muscles for show.
Doesn't know how to build a computer. No, he did a decent job at building a computer. I won't lie, above average.
Rogue says, "Yeah, that's the only thing I hate about the Daily Wire." Yeah, I really want to watch that movie, but they need more content if I'm really going to subscribe.
Yeah, no, there's not much there. Last thoughts, final thoughts for the show on the Johnny Depp getting brought back potentially Disney. Would you go back and watch the Pirates of the Caribbean? I don't think I can watch it without him, to be honest with you.
Here's the thing. I watched the trilogy of Pirates of the Caribbean, and then they're like, it's not a trilogy. We're going to keep making them. And I didn't keep following. Yeah. But after all of this, I actually would support him. I actually would go. I'd be like, this motherfucker's earned this shit. He's earned my ticket.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
I wouldn't watch that Fantastic Beast shit, but I'd watch him as Jack Sparrow again.
Yeah. No, absolutely, or whatever he ends up. And I think he is back in the system. I think he will be making movies. I think it's going to be a good time. I think we're all going to have a good time with drunk. Hopefully he's not sober. Pray to God he's not sober.
Yeah, Lord. Also, I will continue to watch any videos of Amber Heard on the internet. Let's say her next stop is Taco Bell.
There's gonna be a video of her with like a cart full of cans to get into the recycling. Here's what it is. People are like, that's so vicious. That's vicious, Mantis. I've been a poor man my whole life. I've recycled cans before. I've been there.
Oh my. So
now I'm laughing that she gets to do it because she's a liar.
I'll buy her a sandwich if I find her next to me. No, I won't. I wouldn't.
Don't do it.
She'll be like, he assaulted me.
Yeah, she's gonna sue you if she thinks you have money.
Oh man. Any final thoughts? Let's get the hell out of here. We're at 1:47, man.
I've had a great night. What about you?
I had a great time. Thanks for doing this tonight, man. I had so much fun.
Oh yeah, no, this has been awesome. You got to thank the Dayquil. Took that Dayquil. Feeling good.
Dayquil is not supposed to make you feel good that night. It's supposed to make you sleep. Promote your shit.
But this has been a good time, guys. Thanks for dropping into Fanboy Modeling School. Remember to keep tuning in to not only the Hold Up TV, but also Voice of the Fat Mantis on YouTube. This Wednesday, Rogue Planet's going to kick it off. We're actually having a double feature. Okay. At 6 p.m., it's going to be Mothership Mondays on a Wednesday, where we're talking about time travel with my co-host, Laney O. And then immediately following at 8 p.m., we're going to be doing Rogue Planet with my guest Rogue Radio, and we're going to be talking about conspiracies and a long list of crazy
you got Rogue Radio on there. That's amazing.
It's happening. Hell yeah! Keep tuning in, and then of course, guys. Actually, I don't know if we've announced this yet, but on Friday is the Fight Juice launch stream. We're going to be having a stream Friday night. That's going to be me, Hold Up TV, Gray Winthrop, and Shaolin Iceboxer. You all know him as Courtney. We're all going to be doing it. We're going to be talking about our new channel. We're doing a new channel on YouTube. It's going to have all sorts of crazy new content, different concepts of shows and things like that. But our launch is this Friday. Please come to our launch party. Hang out with us. It's great. It's going to be a great Friday night.
And then on the Hold Up TV, I just want to make sure I highlight and support DJ Sensi Star, the host of Request Box Live, Booty Pop and Shakin' Fridays, Thursday for Request Box Live, Fridays for Booty Pop and Shakin' Friday nights. Make sure you tune in to Power Love Latinas on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Enough Said Radio, Friday and Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then making its debut soon. Princess Bex, If You're Nasty.
If You're Nasty is the name of the show?
Yes.
That's a great name for a show.
That's a great name for the show, y'all.
Because I am nasty. I am nasty.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Ciao for now.
Peace. Oh, wait. We didn't shout out Public. Make sure you tune in to Public everywhere Public is.
Public everywhere, and I believe Public does Wednesday through Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern streams on Twitch. They're usually gaming and hangout streams, and they're pretty cool.
Yes, very, very fun. A lot of fun. Peace.
Peace.